Now listen, I'm never going to say a player has to reconstruct their contract. Like, this is not an option. They have to do it. Because at the end of the day, their money is their money. It's no one else's. Their contract is their contract. The team agreed upon it. They agreed upon it. Everything was set in stone. But I think what we have to realize is this is a business at the end of the day. And while, yes, the player wants to get the most money possible, if he wants to win and help the team out, then he needs to, kind of do his part in that way. And again, if the player says, nope, not doing it, then it is what it is, whatever. But I'm not against the idea of the player helping out. That's what I'll say about the whole thing. So, this website, AZ Sports, we talked about this website before, they posted an article talking about the Bengals have every reason to restructure Orlando Brown Jr.'s contract before free agency hits. John Sheeran went ahead and posted this article. Shout out to him for that. And I agree. I think that there are reasons, especially with Orlando Brown coming off a very bad season with us. Coming off a season where he didn't look like he was worth the $68 million that we paid him. You can go into a whole elaborate of, well, that's Frank Pollock's fault. Or that problem is the quarterback situation. Or it's the fact that he got hurt part of the season and that's why he wasn't really that good. Whatever your reasoning is on why it happened, the facts are the facts that Orlando Brown did not meet the $68 million worth of contract. He didn't look that good his first year. Now, I think he'll look a lot better next year because I think it's after 1 year in the system, he gets to learn the system. Whatever. Reworking this contract, restructuring it, I don't think is a bad idea. I think that could help us out drastically. It could save us a lot of money. And we've seen players before in the past do this exact same thing. Obviously, Joe Mixon has taken a pay cut before. Trey Hendrickson reworked his contract toward the future. I know we're only year 2 into his contract for Orlando Brown, but his contract is massive. And if we look at his, if we look at the overthecap.com here, and I want to go ahead and move this over to left-hand, right-hand side a little bit, we can see that our most expensive players on our roster right now, Joe Burrow is a $29.7 million cap hit. T. Higgins is 21.8. Trey Hendrickson is a 20.1. And then Orlando Brown is a 16.3 million. So the 4 guys right now who are costing us a lot of money are these 4 guys right here. Now, this will be all figured out in the future when we sign him to a long-term contract extension. We just reworked his contract, so it's possible we restructure it in some way again. I have been very vocal, although I do love Joe, and he's obviously a quarterback. If he would like to restructure some part of it and push money toward the future, Joe, it wouldn't be a bad idea to give us more money this year and in the future and next couple years to, maybe sign some of these guys back and keep this band together. But then again, like I said, it goes down to Orlando Brown. And Orlando Brown this year is a $16.398 million cap hit. Next year, $15.298 million cap hit. Year after that is a $21.9 million cap hit. And then that's it. He's only signed for 4 total years. This year included in those 4 years. If we restructured his contract, right? Again, I'm not saying we would restructure him and he would be making no money, because the point of why he signed with us, other than the fact he wanted to play with us, which, that's obviously part of it, is because of the fact that we paid him big boy left tackle money. And when you pay him big boy left tackle money, he wants to play out that big boy left tackle money contract. It's actually something that, who was it? The right tackle, I can't think of the guy's name. I can't think of this guy's name. He's not a right tackle. He's a left tackle. He played for Houston. He played for a couple of different teams. Well, the whole point of what he's doing is he's signing 3-year contracts every single year every single 3 years so that he can go sign a 3-year contract, fully guaranteed, play out that whole contract. Then once the market, is going up again, he hits free agency, he signs another 3-year contract, and he does it over and over again. So he's always fresh on the market to make the most money. And obviously for Orlando Brown, he signed a 4-year contract, so in the future it could be the same concept. But again, like I said, it really comes down to what does he want? Does he want to win a Super Bowl, or does he want to help out the team in right now? And if he was coming off one of the best seasons possible, I really wouldn't be talking about this. But with him coming off a very poor season, I feel like, it's kind of like you kind of give back to the team. You're like, yeah, I had a bad season, man. I didn't live up to the contract that I signed. So let's rework my contract. Let's give the Bengals more money so that they can use toward free agency. So if we did that, we could obviously get, depending on how much he would rework, a lot more money. Now, right here, this is a $4.5 million difference of reworking it. And again, you can see as we go throughout the time, it just pushes the money toward the future. That's really all this is. And right now, at this moment in time for Orlando Brown, we have no void years on his contract. We could add up to potentially 3 to 4 void years, maybe up to 5. 5 is the total. That's the max you can add. We could add up to 5 years and actually push all this salary cap toward the future. And that would help us out, again, in the right now. Kicking the can down the road. I think Pat McAfee talked about it today on his show. And here's what I'll say about kicking the can down the road, because that's pretty much what you're doing when you're pushing the money toward the future, creating these void years. You're kicking the can down the road. The salary cap every year is going up. It's going up $30 million. It didn't go up in 2020 because of COVID, but other than COVID, the salary cap is constantly going up, right? And as long as it's going up, you're going to be able to kick this can down the road, and the can is not the same size as it is now. Right now, it might be a glass like this. In a week or whatever time, in 4 or 5 years, it might be this size, right? And that's what really a lot of these teams are doing, is you're pushing the can down the road. Eventually, it's going to come back to you, right? Not if the salary cap is really high. The salary cap goes up, more money to spend. That bigger salary cap, that bigger number you're paying the player isn't really hurting you as much. Problem with this whole situation is, again, Orlando Brown is 30 years old. He's going to be 30 years old at the end of his contract. If we push 5 years after that to push the money down the road, we're most likely going to re-sign him, but then you add whatever the void years is, you add that money to his whatever contract you signed him to. So, for example, let's say you push the money down the road and he's owed, like, I don't know, $15 million, $15 million, $15 million, $15 million, $15 million. Even if you sign him to a $10 million a year contract, that's $25 million a year you're paying him. Salary cap is going up, so maybe that evens, balances out, but that's kind of the whole situation. Which, again, like I said, it's up to him. I'm always for the player, and I'm always going to be pro player, but I'm also pro team, as in I would like to see our team have our best chance to win. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys next one.